Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Make Your Own Destiny podcast, the podcast that empowers you to shape your future. You know, we always bring bangers when it comes to bringing guests. We don't bring any guests. We bring a guest that will bring valuable content for you guys to learn and understand. Now, previously in the crypto world, we talked about the blockchains. We talked with Tariq about understanding the whole crypto world. Now, today, this is the power of connecting with people. I was in the gym, and one way or another, we found a way. We conversated with my friend here, Jaxx, and we talked, and I found out what he did, and I thought, I asked him, Jaxx, don't you think, is it possible for you to come and join us in our podcast and talk to the people so that you guys can learn? Jaxx is actually not from here. Jaxx is from Canada, but he's a content creator. He's a crypto content creator, travels the world, and luckily I was able to tell him to come to our podcast before he leaves, as he leaves next week. Now, before I talk more about Jaxx, let's let Jaxx talk about himself. Hello, Jaxx. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. So first thing I should say is my full name is Jackson. I just go by Jaxx online. And when I tell people my name, I say Jaxx. That sounds a little bit cooler. So yeah, I'm from Canada. I come from a single mother home. So growing up, she did the best she could. Shout out to Mom if you're watching this. I love you. And but yeah, it wasn't easy for her with finances. And when I turned 18, I was just about to finish high school. She got remarried. My parents separated when I was young, so she got remarried, and they told me they were moving to the other side of the country, and it was time for me to be a man. So they gave me some grocery money, and I got a full-time job straight out of high school. They moved away, and I've been on my own since then, from 18 to 26. So from there, I worked various jobs. I actually started to get into self-development when I was about 20. My friend gave me a book. It was called, what was it called? It's by Brian Tracy. Oh man, it was a while ago. It was basically about success. So that started to shift my mindset, and I wanted to get more into entrepreneurship. So from 18 to 26, I worked various jobs trying to find something I was passionate about, something that gave me purpose. And really the only thing that I figured out is I didn't want to work underneath the company. I didn't want to be trapped by the system. So I got more into entrepreneurship, and COVID happened. I stopped working, asked my parents if I could move back in. So I moved into a small town and with my folks. And for 1 year, no dating, no friends, no partying, no going out, just focusing on trying to make an income online. So I tried job shipping, e-commerce, had stores that failed, had one store that was successful with jewelry. As COVID progressed, people stopped purchasing online. Everybody's money was tight. And I started a YouTube channel on personal development. I did that for a year, and I enjoyed that. I learned a lot of tricks of the trade with filming and everything like that, but it wasn't making me any money. So I knew I needed to switch paths, and the only thing I knew was investing in stocks. And slowly but surely, I got into crypto. I started a channel originally talking about stocks. I switched over to crypto, focusing on crypto. The channel started to grow. I learned how to trade, learned how to be a better investor, and the money started to roll in after the first 3 to 4 months. I started to become a better trader. The first 3 months of trading, I lost money. And after that, I started to travel. I first went to Nigeria. And that's when I really became passionate about seeing new countries, new cultures. And that's basically what's brought me here now. So it's been a journey. It's been a crazy ride.
What a background. And you're talking about not being trapped in the system. Can someone who's working in the system right now not be able to live the life that you live?
They can if they work remotely. So for me, I was working in restaurants. I did construction. I did landscaping. I worked in bakeries, grocery stores, and those type of jobs. You have to work your way up the corporate ladder. And I would look at the people that had been there 20 and 25 years, and I was praying that wouldn't be me. I just didn't want that to go down that path. I don't have anything against it. I respect people who are passionate about what they do in their field. But 75% of people in the United States, I'm personally from Canada, but there's a survey, are unhappy with what they do and wish that they could do something else. So I just started listening to entrepreneurs, and I knew I wanted to go down that path. And I had a lot of businesses that failed, and finally something worked out. So yeah, I think it's possible, but I think working remotely is really the best opportunity to live the lifestyle that I have now. So
Would you say you're happy with what you're doing?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, yeah, I love it. Now I work about 4 hours per day. I have the rest of my time free. I'm very passionate about fitness and health, so I spend a lot of time doing that, and then traveling as well. I love to travel, so.
Yeah, that's really nice, man. And actually, when Monty told me about you, I actually came and checked your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's very nice, and you're very consistent.
Yeah, that's key. It's key.
Yeah.
Everything is consistency and routine. So, yeah, for sure.
So what is your routine like now that you're in, let's say you're abroad in another country? What's your routine like?
Yeah.
How does your day start?
So it's always been the same, no matter which country I'm in, unless the time zone changes things. But that's honestly why I'm often in different countries in Africa, is because the time zone really works well. So in the morning, I do boxing, and in the evenings, I do weights, and then in between that time, so we'll go boxing, I'll go home, I'll update my private group, I give chart analysis, I give trade signals. I have a couple hours before I start making my videos, my market analysis on YouTube. So I'll cook, I'll eat, I'll clean up my place, maybe I'll read, maybe I'll just relax. And then I'll go into making my videos for 2 to 3 hours. After that, I go back to the gym, do weights or do recovery. And that's basically it. Come home and spend the last few hours relaxing, watch a movie, read. I'm big into reading, whether it's self-development. Right now I'm reading Muhammad Ali's stories. So whether it's the story of a person's life or it's a book on self-development, that's really helped to reshape my mind, and would highly recommend it for anyone who's looking to kind of go down that self-development road.
So you talked about traveling, and right now you're in Tanzania. So what's one thing in Tanzania that actually inspired you or surprised you, and you're like, wow? Because I think I looked at your Instagram. It's not your first time in Tanzania.
No, I've been to Zanzibar a couple months ago, and then I went to Toronto because I turned 30, so I wanted to see my friends. They flew in from my home city who went to music festival. I wanted to come back and see Dar es Salaam. I still want to see Arusha. First thing I noticed in Zanzibar was the religion was strong, like the Muslim religion. I was like, wow, it's very, very, I could tell that it was the main belief, and it was very profound in Zanzibar. But when I came to Dar es Salaam, I noticed it was more, I wouldn't say open, but multi-religion, and everybody's comfortable with having different beliefs and stuff like that. So, but the main thing I noticed in Zanzibar and in Dar es Salaam is how peaceful the people are here. Because I've been to a few African countries, and this is the most peaceful one, the most welcoming. The people are the most friendly. They're very easy to talk to. I don't feel judged in any way. So that's what I would say about Tanzania is how peaceful the culture is, and it's very warming. I don't feel like I'm on my toes, you know. So, because as a white guy, you get a lot of attention when you travel through Africa. So, yeah.
So do you consider yourself as a digital nomad?
Yeah, for sure. That was always the goal when I started to pursue an online income, was to travel and work from my laptop. So the fact that I've achieved that now is just a blessing. You know, I thank God. And even my friends from my home city, they're like, you made it, man. You did it. You know, you did it what we want to do. So I think a lot of young people, they want to go down that road. And it just takes a lot of discipline and hard work.
So what inspired you to travel and living that lifestyle of a digital nomad?
I think the first experience I had was Jamaica, and that's when I was doing e-commerce drop shipping. I had a jewelry store that was doing relatively well before COVID really got really got bad. So I went to Jamaica and I had culture shock, and I experienced so many beautiful people and beautiful environments, and I knew then that I wanted to continue to travel. So when I came home, I had the itch. You know, you come home, you have the post-travel depression, you want to get out, you want to travel again. So when my crypto channel started to do well, and I started to do well as an investor, as a trader, I went to Nigeria, and from Nigeria only let me stay 1 month on their visa, and instead of going home, I just kept bouncing countries. Every 2 to 3 months I would go to a different country, and I like that lifestyle. Eventually I will slow down and settle down, but right now that was the inspiration. Just experiencing new cultures, new environments, and the fact that your visa runs out, so you have to leave. You don't have a choice. Yeah.
And what's the best culture you've seen?
That's a tough call. I mean, I went to Bali, and Balinese culture is very unique. And they're also a very peaceful and welcoming people, and they love to celebrate and have festivals and parades. So that was the most unique experience that I've had. South Africa is beautiful. The choirs that they have on the street, and people performing, dancing, and people selling their paintings. And so, especially in Cape Town, that was a beautiful experience as well. So I would say between Bali and South Africa, yeah.
You said when you started doing techno analysis on YouTube, you didn't make money, and the money started coming in after 4 months, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah.
what are the key takeaways that you'd give someone who is interested in doing techno analysis on YouTube or being
well, I think any content creator on YouTube, whether it's crypto or vlogging, you have to have an upload schedule, and you have to have self-discipline, because as we were saying, motivation is bullshit. So you need to have, for me, I have a routine. So I have the gym, and then I make my videos. So I do that every day, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. You have to have a routine, and you have to just show up every single day. Especially the first 1,000 subscribers is the hardest to grow that first base audience and to get monetized on YouTube. So it comes down to mindset, self-belief, and consistency. Everyone says consistency is key because it's true. You have to be willing to stick to your upload schedule. So for me, it's 2-3 videos a day, Monday to Friday, sometimes Saturday, depending on how the market is moving, or Sunday. So if you have a schedule, you stick to it. That's it.
So have you been uploading Monday to Friday for how long?
2 years.
Monday to Friday.
Yeah,
for 2 years.
3 videos a day. When the markets, for anyone who doesn't know about markets, you go through a bull cycle and you go through a bear cycle. And when the bull cycle, the projection is up, the bear cycle, the projection is down for a few years. So when we're in the bull cycle, because there's so much interest and popularity, I was doing 6-7 videos a day. So yeah, I would just pop them out, just bang, bang, bang. Because technical analysis, when you learn to read the chart, all you're doing is giving your predictions. So you can bang out videos quickly if you want to. But now that the market is slower, then I've cut back on my videos to 2 or 3 per day. Yeah.
But minimum is 2 videos.
Minimum is 2. Yeah, always. Yeah.
Talking about consistency, man.
Yeah.
That is consistency.
Yeah, it depends what you're doing. If you're vlogging and you're flying a drone, because I had a channel that was based around self-development where I would do cinematic. The editing, it takes longer, so maybe twice a week, once a week videos. It just depends on your niche.
So behind cameras, we're talking about how whenever you travel, there's key things that you look at before you choose a place. So it has to have internet, has to have generator,
that's right.
and you have to be close to the gym.
Yeah, that's right. But you learn from your mistakes. I've been in places where there's no generator. I've been in places that had power cuts, and it was detrimental to my work, right? So sometimes I'd have to leave. I just have to leave right away and go to a different Airbnb. So now before I go to it, because I always use Airbnb, I ask questions. How fast? What's the Mbps of the internet, the megabytes per second? Do you have a generator? Because coming from the Western society, you don't think about these things. Yeah. So now that I've experienced quite a few different countries in Africa, I always ask questions before I arrive. Yeah.
So you travel a lot and you go to different places. And for me personally, whenever I travel, I always make sure that I try their local food. I always make sure that I see what's different in their country. So there's a takeaway that it's like something that's already in the back of my head. So let's say, for example, if I go to Morocco, what's their culture like? What's different about them? And maybe I found out that every house is the same color in Morocco. The food is tagine, I don't know if I say that correct, is the best food there. So it's like some things that you take away that end of the day could help you shape yourself. Being to different countries, what's one country that actually shaped you to become different and actually push you like, oh wow, I really have to be on my A game from now on, or like this is shaping me in this in somehow in some way.
I think for me, it's relationships. So I have close relationships in South Africa. I made close friends with my trainer there, and I think the relationships motivate you to. For me, it's to live in a country. So I really want to live in South Africa. So meeting these people, experiencing their culture, experiencing their personalities, and forming relationships inspired me to leave Canada. I know a lot of people watching this will be like, why would you leave Canada? Because a lot of people want to migrate to the West. But I have my reasons, and I think that was the biggest inspiration. But I'm just like you. I experienced the food. I experienced the local businesses. And that's why I really try my best to do is support local businesses. So the other day I met a woman, and she was telling me she had just opened a barbershop 2 months ago. And I was like, oh, great. I'll come get a haircut. It's not about how good's the haircut. It's about experiencing the relationship with this woman, with meeting this woman, and then going and supporting her small business. You know, I think that's really important when you're traveling. And then you build relationships that way. And so, yeah, I would say the relationships have been the most inspiring thing for me with traveling.
So you are talking about that you came from a very humble background.
Yes.
From a very poor family.
Yes.
So your story is basically from rags to riches, right?
Yes. Yeah. My mom and my stepdad literally left me grocery money, and they moved to the other side of the country. So I got a full-time job at a sheet metal factory. Pulled a piece of sheet metal, you punch a hole, you pull the next sheet 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. So my mind went into depression and went into anxiety, and am I going to be doing this for the rest of my life? And I don't believe that you're a man when you finish high school. I think you have an experienced life. You don't. So I didn't have any backdrop. I didn't have any safety net. I didn't have any college fund. So from there, falling into depression and having bad anxiety, and I didn't know what to do. And luckily, my friend gave me a book on maximum achievement. That's the name of the book. And I highly recommend the book, Maximum Achievement, Brian Tracy. And he talked about mindset and how you can really pull yourself out of any situation, wherever you come from, and you can become successful if you're willing to shift the way that you think. So that's what I did. And it took years. It doesn't happen in a week. You don't shift your mindset in a week. You don't shift your mindset in a couple months. It takes years. Takes years of consistency. So yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to talk about because those years were so difficult. I had times where I couldn't pay rent, where I didn't have money I didn't have food in the fridge, and I didn't know what to do. So my digestive system got messed up, my sleep got messed up, and you just feel like you're never going to escape. But you have to give yourself that window of opportunity. And for me, COVID was that window. I called my parents. I said, let me move back in. Give me 1 year. I was 26. And at 26, when you've been on your own since 18, you don't want to tell all your friends, like, hey, I'm moving in with my parents. You feel shame. But I put that to the side. I said, it doesn't matter. And my friends were supportive. They were like, well, it's COVID, man. What else are you going to do? So instead of watching Netflix for 2 years, I used that time to try to make money online. And luckily, eventually, it took time. It worked out. So
I feel like there's a key takeaway that I'm taking from that. And might be, I don't know if it's a good takeaway, but it's also a good takeaway because I want you to touch upon, obviously, right now, the last 4 years of your life, you could say it's the best years of your life, right?
Yeah.
You learned what you learned when you're 26.
Yeah.
And could you touch upon, because people feel like once they hit 21 and they haven't done anything, they want to be depressed if they want to do anything. I mean, I understand you said you went through that, but then do you think there's some things that don't need to be rushed? Like you have to motivate yourself. I mean, not motivate yourself, but you have to push yourself to learn other things. You have to push yourself to learn things.
Right.
But do you feel like you have to rush that? If I don't do it today, then I'm just going to be
Yeah, I think a lot of people who are coming out of high school, going into college, they know where they want to be at 25. That was me. I was like, okay, this is where I want to be at 25. And when you reach 25 and you're not there, then you start to have imposter syndrome. You start to get down on yourself. So I think that, especially as a man, that you need to focus on your finances in your 20s. 20 to 30, you have a window of opportunity, because that's usually the time that you're going to remain single, or you're going to have a girlfriend, but you're not married and you don't have kids. So you don't have major responsibilities. So you have a large window of about 10 years, 10 to 12 years, 18 to 30, because a lot of people, they settle down when they're 30. They want to start a family. Understandable. That's perfectly fine. So you have this window of opportunity. So it all depends on how you're using your time. The biggest thing about entrepreneurship that I learned is sacrifice. So you have to sacrifice the partying. Like I sacrificed a year of my life purely everything, no friends, no dating, and I was 26, and a lot of times all my friends were still partying, they're still enjoying life, but now I'm free financially and escape the matrix, as you would say, and they're all still under the system. They're all still trying to get out of that. Now they look at me and they're like, holy cow, I want to do the same thing. So sacrifice is everything. You have to be willing to sacrifice and give yourself a window of opportunity to pursue the path that you really want to go
What's
down.
the hardest thing about sacrifice?
I think the hardest thing is you're going to be lonely. So I spent a year without seeing my friends, without any female interaction. So I dealt with loneliness. I dealt with just feeling like I wasn't going to make it, because I had online stores that failed. I put money into them. They failed. I had a YouTube channel that I did for a year. It failed, didn't make me money. So I thought I was going to go back to working a regular job and I was going to be an average Joe for the rest of my days. But I always believed that it was possible. So I just kept trying new businesses. I kept trying. I did a new YouTube channel. And after over a year of trying different businesses, the crypto channel started to take off. I learned to trade. And so I think everything comes down to being willing to go down the wrong path and knowing when to get off that path, when to change paths, and to when to try something new. And hopefully eventually something clicks, and just pray.
So most people love the digital nomad lifestyle. Most people love traveling.
Yeah.
But most people, they are lost. They don't know where to start.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So what's like the best advice that you would have for the audience who want to go through that route?
I think the most important thing is getting over the fear of starting. So it's just like going to the gym. You don't feel like going, just put your shoes on. You don't feel like making your first YouTube video, just start with your phone and start the video and film it. Anything, Instagram, whatever social media, whatever online business. The biggest piece of advice that I can give people is YouTube is your number one source of knowledge. So you can learn everything about almost every single type of business. Any type of online business can be learned for free. You don't have to buy courses. I learned everything about investing and trading through YouTube. I learned how to run a drop shipping store, e-commerce, through YouTube, free videos. So YouTube is such a powerful wealth of knowledge that you can learn almost anything. You have to show up every day. You have to sacrifice your evenings and your weekends if you really want to make it, and build passive income. That's the most important thing. Once you build an audience, monetize your audience, create private groups, use affiliate links, and create as much passive income. Because when I first started my channel, I would work like 8 hours, 10 hours a day. When I had my self-development channel, I would work 10 hours a day easily because it was so much work that went into those videos. And eventually, when you build passive income, you can drop down the amount of hours you work. So now I work 4 hours and I live comfortably. And I'm financially secure. So, yeah.
What I'm learning from you is that obviously being lonely does not mean you're a failure.
No.
And you travel a lot by yourself. I mean, you say that you travel a lot by yourself.
Always.
And I feel like what I'm learning is that doing something yourself does not mean like, this is not going well, or I have to have a friend by my side. I mean, you said behind the cameras, you talked about having a small circle.
Yeah.
What do you think about having a lot of friends? And like, for example, if I want to do something, I can't do it myself. I have to go to Jaxx, I have to go to Musa. I have to involve a lot of people. What do you think of that type of person? Or what advice do you have for that type of person that has to have a friend when starting something?
Yeah, I think if you need to network, then you should do it as much as you can. I don't know if I can give really good advice on networking and building a business that involves a team, because it's not my path. I'm introverted. Like I said, I'm like Batman. I love to work alone. So everything that I do, I try to keep personal relationships out of it. My personal relationships have more to do with fitness, have more to do with friendship than they do with business. I don't really want to bring anybody in, but for someone who needs to do that, then you have to network. You have to get to know people as much as you can so you can build your team. But for me personally, I can't speak on that because I don't have the experience, and I don't think I will. It's not the path that I want to go down. As I was mentioning, I'd love to start an Airbnb business down the road and buy apartments and have those as assets, and I would have a cleaner, I would have a manager, but that's it. I don't want a team. I don't want a group of people, because I've seen people lose their businesses and I've seen people get screwed over by members of their own circle. Yeah, so you have to really be careful.
Yeah, so you talked about the importance of having multiple streams of income.
Yes.
I remember even one of the guys that I like and I really look up to him. He said that like you should always have multiple streams of income, you know. Is actually Warren Buffett, and he said you should never put all your eggs in one basket.
That's right.
So when someone looks at you, they can just see that you only have a YouTube channel. So from your YouTube channel, how many streams of income do you have out of that?
Yeah, so I completely agree. I mean, Warren Buffett is definitely an inspiration for myself for creating multiple streams of income. So I started with the channel and I started with investing. So investing, it takes years to make money, but it is a stream of income. So I started with only 2, and the YouTube channel didn't really start making money until after 3 to 4 months. I learned how to trade. I started to do market analysis, and that was my 3rd source of income. So now I have trading, I have investing, I have YouTube. And then a company started to reach out to me, crypto exchanges, and I became an affiliate. So I had a few affiliate links. So there was another stream of income. And then I decided to create a private group called Discord, which is an online chat room. And you can charge people a monthly subscription. So I give analysis and I give trade signals. So I created another source of income. So now I have investing, trading, YouTube. I have the Discord. And I have my affiliate links. So right now I'm at five sources of income. And if the YouTube channel were to go down, if YouTube as a business went down, which is highly unlikely, then I would lose, because they're all connected. So I would lose the affiliate link, but then right away I'd go to Rumble. Right away, I would go to another platform, quick, very, very, very fast. If YouTube were to, ban me for whatever reason, I would go to Rumble right away. So I think as long as you have backup plans in place, just in case God forbid, something horrible happens, then you need to have those multiple streams. And I always have investing as my main source of long-term income and long-term I would say opportunity to get extremely wealthy through investing. So
talking about Rumble, for people who don't know Rumble, we also have a Rumble account and we upload there regularly. So as you know, the metrics is always against people who try to wake other people up, and they always try to ban us. Some of our videos we try to upload and they don't go up. I don't know why, for what reasons. So in case we get banned on YouTube, you guys can go and follow us on Rumble.
And make sure to subscribe on Rumble.
And also subscribe to Jaxx. You have 50,000 subscribers right now?
Yeah, 49,000. So yeah, it's Invest and Trade with Jaxx on YouTube if they want to check it out. I do market analysis, and then all my links for my Discord and affiliate links they're all there in the comment section, so you can check it out.
So in cryptocurrency, there's the notion that says when you're doing crypto, when you have crypto, you're actually being your own bank. So how do you think about that notion, and do you think cryptocurrency has influenced a lot in the world of money?
Yes. So to the second part of that question, it has influenced the world, and Dubai is a very futuristic city. You can buy vehicles, you can buy housing with apartments, homes with crypto. So eventually that will be adopted worldwide. Governments are already investing in Bitcoin. El Salvador is already a huge investor in Bitcoin. So it's becoming, the adoption is growing. Crypto adoption is growing quicker than the adoption of the internet. So this is massive adoption, the fastest growing asset class in the world, and the greatest opportunity of our time to get wealthy, whether it's through investing, whether it's starting a crypto business, calling it your own bank. I guess if you put all your money into crypto, but I don't think that's wise. I think you should have multiple asset classes where you put your money, stocks, real estate, cryptocurrency. If you're starting out and you just have small money, then have a certain percentage that you invest in. But I do think it's the future. I think it will change the way the world works, the way that we'll transfer money, the way that we'll purchase, because fiat currency is becoming less and less valuable, especially the US dollar. It no longer is going to be the world reserve currency. And everything is going to change and become online and become card based. So you already have crypto Visa cards, you already have crypto transfers, so people transfer money in crypto instead of bank transfers because of the fees are way cheaper. So the adoption is so massive and so quick, and it's just such an opportunity that if you don't take advantage, I think you are missing out on the greatest financial opportunity of our generation and probably of the next 100 years. So
out of all the asset classes that you're involved in, would you say like crypto is the best one of them all?
Yeah, I would say crypto, it has the most opportunity, is the fastest growing, and has the greatest potential for return on investment. So if you invest in Apple now, then it's going to take quite a few years for you to double, triple your money. In crypto, you can do that in a week. And some of these projects, they double in a bull market. They double in a week. They double in a day sometimes. So if you're wise and you do your research and you're smart, it can turn an average Joe into a millionaire within a year, 2 years. You just have to be wise and you have to do your research. So.
And for someone who is getting started into crypto, what advice would you give him? And actually, this is not financial advice. So you have to do your own research. Yeah, but what
Disclaimer.
Yeah. So what would you tell someone who's just getting started into crypto?
I would tell them first to start with research on YouTube, learn how to properly invest, learn how to trade. Even if you want to spend time learning how to trade, you can check out my YouTube channel. You can check out various channels that can give you unlimited amount of knowledge, and start small. I always recommend anyone who's getting into investing or trading, start small. If you're getting into investing, put 10% of your income to the side for investments and slowly grow your account. And the thing is about investing, once you start to see the return after a few years, you'll realize that saving your money is foolish, and you'll start putting more of your income into investments. And if you learn how to trade and you become a profitable trader, then that can take over your job. You no longer have to work your 9 to 5 if you don't wish. You can become a digital nomad. But I would definitely recommend using the highest majority of your portfolio in investments, and only use about 10 to 50% of your portfolio for trading. That would be my recommendation.
So you're crypto content creator, and there's more than 1,000 on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, there's a lot.
What's different about you?
I by no means am I the most popular or the best channel out there, but I'm always genuine myself, and I'm always trying to improve on my analysis. I also provide Forex analysis and signals through my private group, and I always promote that in my videos. So not many crypto channels provide this. Not only do I provide content for cryptocurrency, I also do Forex analysis and give signals for Forex in my private group. And I keep my subscription low. So my subscription is $10 a month. Most channels, they charge $50, $100, but I want to be able to reach everybody around the world. And I know $10 is relatively affordable for people worldwide, not everywhere and not in every situation, but for the majority of people worldwide, $10 is a decent amount to join my group, to gain knowledge, and to have a better understanding of the market from someone who's been doing it for a few years. So.
Now, for someone who wants to join your private group, how do they get?
Yeah, so you would go to my YouTube channel, Invest and Trade with Jaxx, and go into the description or the comment section, and you will see a link for my Discord. You sign up through what's called Patreon, and once you sign up, it's a $10 subscription. You are entered into the Discord, and I give daily analysis. I also give trade signals, and that can be very helpful for a beginner who has no idea what they're doing, and they can see how I trade, how I read the charts, and they can use that as a base to gain knowledge and to gain experience. So
you have been doing crypto, and you have been having a YouTube channel for 2 years now.
Yeah, since early 2021.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you have had a lot of challenges on the way.
Yeah, for sure.
So what the challenge that you have that was the most difficult one, and how did you overcome it?
I think the biggest challenge has been the bear market. So we've been on a decline on the higher time frames, like the weekly, the monthly, which means price has been going down for 2 years. Of course, it works in waves, but the general trajectory has been down, which is normal. It's part of the cycle. So when that happens, people get very negative. So they're very harsh in the comment sections. You lose a lot of viewers because obviously their investments are down, or they're down on their portfolio. So they blame you. I used to work at a casino. I used to deal blackjack, and as the dealer, you have no control. You just deal the cards. But when the customer loses money, they blame you. So it's the same thing with cryptocurrency. When they're losing money, they blame the content creator. So that was hard. You have to have thick skin, and no matter what, eventually it's going to get to you. Eventually it's going to bring you down, and you're going to have times where, like, I don't want to make videos anymore. I'm tired of this. But I always there was an interview of Tom Hanks, a really famous actor. He was doing an interview, and he said that something that really helped him get through situations in life was a quote, this too shall pass. So any period of life that you're in, this too shall pass, which means that eventually things are going to change. The market is going to change. It's not always going to be this way. 2 years is a long time to be involved in a market that's just been going down and people are upset. And so yeah, it's been challenging, but I look towards the future, and I look towards the relationships. I look at the relationships that I built and the online group that I built. I have over 2,500 or 2,400 members in the private group, and I speak to them through DMs. And so I built an audience that I'm proud of, and I know it will continue to grow, and I need to stay consistent, and I know what's coming in the next few years. So yeah, I'm excited. Actually, I'm excited for what's to come.
Going back to traveling, I mean, we talked about, I believe it was behind the camera. We talked about your interaction with a local woman who told you she had a barbershop, but then it was all about the experience going to get the haircut and supporting a business.
Right.
So, but all of the countries that you've been to, what's one interaction that you have with a local that's will forever stay in your mind, like it's the best memory you ever have?
I was in Nigeria, and the place that was my first time coming to Africa, and the place I rented when I got there, the shower wasn't working. A lot of the lights, the power was on, but a lot of the lights weren't working. I could smell the sewage from outdoors, and I was in Lagos, and Lagos is a crazy place because there's so many people, and so I was nervous and I was anxious, and I had to leave right away. So I called an Uber, and I guess God intervened, because the man who was driving the Uber was such a blessing to me. He took me to an apartment that he knew would be decent for me. He knew I would be in a safe area, and we built a relationship. We became friends, and his name's Emmanuel. So if you're watching this, shout out to you. I love you. And yeah, we built such a beautiful friendship, and he's much older than me. He's in his 40s. I met his wife. They recently had a child. So we built such a special bond, and he was struggling in the last few months with not having work, and he was going to lose the place that they were living, and they were about to have the baby. So luckily I'm in a good financial position. So I paid their rent for a year. Like I bought their apartment for a year. I paid everything. And I said, and he's crying, him and his wife are crying, and I'm like, and God put us into each other's lives for a reason. You helped me in a time that I was scared and I was nervous and I didn't know what to do. I was in a foreign country, and now I get the opportunity to repay that and to help you. So we're very close. That's the most beautiful relationship that I built. They have a son now. His name's King David. So yeah, it's
Shout out to King David.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful experience for sure.
That's quite beautiful, man. I mean, the fact that you guys, God put you in that position, and God put you in this position, being financially free and helping someone out.
Yeah,
you get more blessings from just doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, do you see yourself going back to Nigeria?
Oh yeah, I've been twice already. It's an interesting experience every single time, because as a foreigner, you get a lot of stares. Like people just stare at you because you're not from the country, and you don't see a lot of white people in Lagos. You do every once in a while, but not as much as you see them in South Africa and Tanzania. So I had to get used to people just staring at me, because they're just like, oh, it's different, you know? And it's a dangerous country, so I do feel like I'm on my toes a little bit at night, and I have to be smart, and I have to check the license plates of the Uber to make sure they match. And there's certain things where I'm more on guard. But the young people in Nigeria are some of the most exciting, vibrant people that I've met, and I've had beautiful friendships and experienced some beautiful things.
So when do you see yourself coming back to Tanzania? I mean, I'm sure there's people watching here now. I've said that you're leaving. People will be excited to see you come back.
Yeah, well, I'll be in South Africa for 3 months, and after that, I'll either come back to Tanzania or go to Kenya. So I've been to Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, and Tanzania, and I'd really like to go to Nairobi. So I think I'll either come here for a few months and then hop over to Kenya. But what's beautiful about Tanzania is they give us a multi-entry visa. So for a year, we can we can stay for 3 months, leave for a week or a month, and come back, stay another 3 months. They're okay with that. Most countries, they don't allow that. So that's the beautiful thing about Tanzania. It's very peaceful here, and I love the gym. Shout out to Pulse. Go check out Pulse Tanzania, beautiful gym in Masaki. So I think I'll be back within the next 3 to 5 months. I'll come back. Yeah.
So we talked about crypto, and we talked about right now there's a decline in crypto and it's going to rise soon.
Yeah.
So where do you see the intersection of crypto, content creation, and traveling in the next 5 years of Jaxx?
I think that at the end of the next bull cycle, for any of my subscribers who are watching this, they might be a little bit sad. I'm going to step back. So at the end of the next bull cycle, I have plans with real estate and different ventures that I want to go down. So I think I'll take a step back from daily analysis on YouTube, and I'll focus on other passions that I have. But for the next 2 years, I think the end of 2026 when the bull market will be coming towards an end. We don't know for sure, but end of 2025 going into 2026 or towards the end of 2026. So I believe that I'll always be involved in crypto as an investor, and I'll always be a big believer in blockchain. And it's not just blockchain, it's film, it's video games, it's everything that we do, payment systems, crypto will be involved in every aspect of life, and especially in developing countries. I think it's going to really make a massive difference. So I'll always be involved. I'll always be an investor, and I'll always be a big believer in the future of crypto. But I think I'll step back at the end of the next bull cycle from being a crypto content creator for a while at least.
So the name of this podcast is Make Your Own Destiny. So you have made your own destiny. You have escaped the matrix that most people who are watching, they're probably stuck in the matrix.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give people who are looking to make your own destiny?
I think what I said earlier, sacrifice is the most important thing. So you have to be willing to give up your weekends. You have to be willing to give up the party if you really want to pursue your passion, whether it's an online store that you want to start, whether you want to become a trader, whether you want to be a content creator, a YouTuber. You have to be willing to give up your free time. Most of us right now are watching this podcast are working to live. They have a 9 to 5. They have something that they want to escape. So what are you doing after that 9 to 5? Are you watching Netflix, or are you working on your side hustle? Are you eating and relaxing at home? Are you partying on the weekends, or are you researching a way that you can make money online? Are you starting a drop shipping store? Are you learning how to trade? Your free time is your greatest asset. So what you're doing with your time as a person who's trying to become a digital nomad, who's trying to be an online entrepreneur, is the most important thing. Sacrifice and discipline, because motivation is bullshit. You won't feel like you want to make content every day. You won't feel like you want to learn how to run an e-commerce business, how to learn how to trade every single day. So you push those emotions to the side, and you focus on discipline. For me, it's routine. Gym, update my private group, make my videos, gym in the evening, come home. And I've built a life where I can relax in the evening. But when I first got started, all my free time, I moved away from my home country or my home city, and I moved to the other side of the country. And I sacrificed everything, and all I did all day was try to learn how to make money online. So that's the biggest thing: sacrifice, consistency, self-discipline. Don't feel like you're going to be motivated to do it every day, because you won't. You have to be disciplined.
I've personally taken a lot from this. I've taken in the sacrifice part. I've taken in being lonely does not mean you're a failure. I've taken in what you're doing in your free time is your greatest asset.
Yeah.
Depending on what you do, as you said, working 9 to 5 is not a problem. The problem is what do you do after
That's
you work your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You said you worked a 9 to 5, but after you went home, you stared at the screen, just finding a way to escape it.
Yeah, that's right.
And I feel like that's our problem, that we feel like we're comfortable where we're at, not knowing that we don't want to be there. We're unhappy. Right. But then why we're unhappy? What are we doing about it? Well, there's nothing we're doing about it. And I feel like I personally say this a lot. I feel like working a 9 to 5 is not a problem.
No.
But it's what we said. It's what do you do after?
Yeah, it's a stepping stone.
Are you focused on changing that? You could work a 9 to 5 for the next 5 years, but then the rest of your life is financially free, just sitting about, just investments. So for the person that you're watching, after you work your 9 to 5, go back home. Take an hour to learn something, read books, change the way you think. Every day you develop yourself into becoming a person that's new, into a person that's going to invest even $100 into something and return 1,000. That's $900. $900 you can put in again into $100. That's like 10,000. So just take your time, learn new stuff, watch our podcast.
Yeah.
Go subscribe to Invest with Jaxx if you're interested in crypto, and we're all gonna make our own destinies. We're all gonna be like Jaxx. Travel every 3 months. When was the last time you were in Canada?
I was in Canada in July for 1 month for my 30th birthday, but most of the year I'm in Africa in different countries.
So if it was not for his birthday, he would have been in another country.
Yeah, that's
and
right. Yeah.
I'm sure it's a lifestyle that we all want to live.
Yeah.
But we're not ready for the work to do in progress of doing that work to do all of that.
One more thing I would say is you can live your best life now as a young person from 20 to 30 where you party, you have fun, and then you live the rest of your 60 years at a 9-to-5 until you retire. Or you can sacrifice 10 years now to live the next 60 years where you can live your best life, where you can travel the world, where you're financially free. So make your choice. Do you choose to make the sacrifice now while you're young, or do you choose to enjoy these? I'm not saying you can't enjoy, but do you choose to just try to live your best life, party and have fun and for these years, and then spend the next 60 years at a job that you don't enjoy, doing something you don't enjoy? And I'm the same way. I don't hate on the 9-to-5. It's a stepping stone. You need to make money. You need to be self-sufficient. And I would honestly recommend, if you have the opportunity, if you're a young person, you need to give yourself a window, move back in with your parents, quit your job, spend a year with your parents, humble yourself, and focus on online business. If you have that luxury. I know a lot of people don't have that luxury of having a good family or having even a mother or father who's there for them. But if you do have that luxury, humble yourself, go live with them for a year and focus on trying to make a online income and focus on your passions. And if it works out, it can change your life. And if it doesn't work out, at least you gave it your best shot. You gave yourself that opportunity. So
at the end of the day, if you fail, you're the only one to blame.
Yeah. Get up, try again, try something else. I had many failed businesses. Try something new. That's the problem. People fail and they're like, oh, well, I just go back to my job. It didn't work. Well, you tried one business. I tried like 12 businesses and 11 failed.
So for good, and 16 9-to-5s.
Yeah. And from the age of 18 to 26, I worked 15 to 16 different jobs. I quit some. I got fired from some, just trying to find something I'm passionate about. And I realized I didn't want to work under the system. I have nothing against the people who enjoy what they do. But for the majority, as I said, 75% of people in the U.S., there was a survey done, they don't enjoy what they do. And I think that is the biggest waste of life that there is. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
And guys, that was Jaxx. For the people that are interested in following Jaxx,
my YouTube channel is Invest and Trade with Jaxx. My Instagram is JAXX_IGC. If you want to send me a message, I will definitely reply. Check out my YouTube channel if you want to learn trading. You can check out my private Discord. All the links are in the YouTube channel. And those are my socials.
Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see Jack back here again when he's back from his travels.
And if you have any more questions for Jaxx, for the next time we meet Jaxx, we might do a part 2. So just ask your question right now in the comment section down below.
Appreciate you guys having me on. It's been fun.